Carsten Moser, please.
Thank you very much for inviting me to be part of the panel which will discuss the subject of most interest and importance. As you probably read in my CV, I am not a lawyer, but just a plain economist. However, the subject of the fourth industrial revolution has always interested me, to the degree that one of my engagements today is with an association called the Heroes Club in Madrid, which not only tries to help startups to get on the right track in the development of their business, but also organizes courses for managers who want to know more about the technological and internet revolution taking place and the consequences it will have on their business environment, as well as runways for established companies who want to meet startups that could be of use for them in the future. Let me first start enhancing the fourth industrial revolution. Together with globalization, it has brought to the world a period of economic prosperity never known before. Industry 4.0, robotization, drones, 3D printing, big data, artificial intelligence, fintech, gig economy, deep learning. Many of us don't know neither their significance nor their opportunities, but we do know that they already have had a deep impact in our lives and will continue to do so in the future. Because they will not only help economic productivity, but also could solve some of the significant problems mankind is facing. I quote from an article in the Spanish newspaper El País from January 24, 2016. Never had the world been confronted with so many challenges. Terrorism, climate change, wealth inequality, water shortage, land grab, digital disruption, pandemics such as cancer and obesity. And if this wouldn't be enough, the aging of our population is the most crucial threat that will bring about enormous transformations with which we will have to live. If we don't master these formidable structural changes, the human race will end up finding itself in deep trouble, unless its capacity to innovate and its magic to dream up solutions leads to a way out of the problems we face. This is why I found one of the most fascinating books to have read during the last years, the one written by the Argentine Andrés Oppenheimer, a journalist working for the Miami Herald and CNN en Español, who won a Pulitzer Prize in 1987, titled, in the English translation, Create or Die, How to Reinvent Ourselves and Progress in an Innovating Area. I won't go into the different examples he puts, but I recommend this book dearly to you. Jeremy Rifkin, professor of Wharton University, is, in my opinion, one of the most influential economists when it comes to explain the changes in our world due to internet and other technological progress. According to him, the sharing or collaborative economy is advancing at high speed and transforming our way of life. Due to extreme productivity improvements, the marginal cost of production will move towards nearly zero, so that communication, electricity, and many other products and services will be on offer abundantly and nearly free of charge. It has already led to a revolution in the editorial and communication industry, so that many newspapers and magazines had to close down, and to an increasing number of citizens all over the world that are taking advantage of the collaborative economy, with companies like Uber and Airbnb as examples par excellence. As Rifkin explains, and I quote, the costs going down constantly, soon all citizens will have solar panels, producing and sharing their own energy in networks. Also, there will be more and more intelligent highways with self-guided cars, which will revolutionize our transport system. Further on, Internet of Things will enable to connect each machine, company or house in an intelligent communications network, leading to even more productivity. The result will be a further increase in the automation process and a decrease in job positions, compensated in partly by a social economy which will gain in importance. If Rifkin's predictions come true, there are two questions which, in my opinion, should be in the center of our philosophical, legal, political, economic, and social discussion, but are scarcely dealt with. First, what will be the effect of this internet revolution as well as the technological and industrial one regarding the labor market and its welfare society, especially in Europe, where we already have 25 million unemployed, and with less than 10% of world population, produce around 25% of world's GDP, and are responsible for 50% of the world's social costs, as the German Chancellor Angela Merkel likes to remind us. And the second question, what consequences will it have on us, the citizens? Will we lose intimacy and autonomy in order to supposedly gain more wealth? Will we be even more transparent and easily manipulated, increasingly living in crystal houses and becoming servants of the big brothers of our world? Regarding the first question, only three bothering examples. The first, already today, there are over 300,000 robots coming into use each year. In the opinion of Martin Ford, author of the book Rise of the Robots, they are no longer machines helping man to increase economic productivity, but substituting human capital. The second, also according to Ford, and I quote, if computers can compose music, they will soon be able to develop business strategies and solve managerial problems. Nearly all jobs where a computer screen is involved and information is exchanged are in danger of disappearing. And the third, investment banks, which 5 years ago needed maybe 100 analysts to advise their customers, today only make use of one, algorithms having replaced the other 99. No wonder Bill Gates, founder of Microsoft, has come forward with the idea to impose on robots the same tax burden as employed citizens carry. I quote him, today a working person has to pay his income and other taxes, as well as his contribution to Social Security. If a robot does this job, he should be charged the same. This debate will take on a new dimension in the coming years, especially taking into account that more and more people are afraid what their professional future will be due to technological and internet revolution and the collateral and social changes they imply. And that politicians of traditional parties are growing aware that they either tackle this problem successfully or they might lose the race against populists who are experts in taking advantages of such crisis scenarios. Regarding the second question, let me remind you of the plot of George Orwell's book 1984, published as early as 1949. The main character, Winston Smith, tries everything possible to protect his privacy. A hard thing to do, as a video camera is observing him 24 hours a day. He has to act convincingly, if not, he is in danger of being deleted or accused of disobedience. And let me remind you that in times of the Democratic Republic of Germany, there were 102,000 Stasi agents spying on 17 million, which meant one spy for every 167 citizens. If you added the Stasi collaborators, the number reduces to 66. Today, we carry in our pockets cell phones with lots of information about ourselves that the Googles, Apples, Facebooks, Twitters, and Amazons of this world can extract from us in a click, which means that our privacy has been reduced to nearly zero. The result is that many experts demand a change in politics, away from transparency as a solution to all our problems. The pessimistic school of thought to which Clifford Lynch, president of the Coalition of Networked Information, CNI, and professor at the University of California in Berkeley belongs, is of the opinion that government and industry are allies in eliminating almost all totally consumers' and citizens' privacy rights. Therefore, it will be very difficult to achieve a political turnaround. The optimistic school of thought, to which Jim Hentler, professor at the Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute of New York belongs, argues that there will be a significant progress regarding the demand for privacy. As a result, people will be more careful and vigilant how their data is being used and by whom. Also, their awareness of the methods on hand to sue in cases they feel their privacy rights have been violated will increase. For that reason, new encryption technologies will be developed during the next years and offered to citizens who are willing to pay good price in order to have a better control of the data, as Kate Crawford of Microsoft Center in New York predicts. Privacy could become a luxury item. Worse than that, this enormous amount of data circulating in the world without control leads to rapidly increasing digital crime. According to the Center of Strategic and International Studies in Washington, this plague costs the world per year between 375 and 575 billion US dollars. That is the reason why companies, but also governments, are investing heavily in protecting themselves. Cybersecurity has become a major issue. Take the example of terrorism. According to Fabiano Valesi, analyst of the Swiss bank Julius Baer, and I quote him, "The terrible terrorist attacks have made Europeans aware of the fact that the horror doesn't stop at their frontiers. It is impossible to ignore that cyber war will be an issue we have to cope with, as well as cyber attacks on governments, the business community, and our civil society, either provoking a breakdown in information systems or manipulating the content of these platforms, causing great damage to the attacked." All this is not new to us, but its impact in our lives is growing more rapidly than ever. Therefore, the necessity to find solutions to these problems is on greater demand than ever. In this context, law firms have a crucial role to play, as they will have to define and propose solutions to the legal challenges of the fourth industrial revolution. Maybe they be the consequence of progress in the technology and internet front that will transform our production of goods and services, labor market, or welfare state. May they be the result of decreasing privacy as well as security due to increasing flow of uncontrolled information and danger of cyber attacks. Thank you for your interest.